All right. Welcome back, folks, to the FF Faceoff. This is a fantasy football podcast, part of the Faceoff Sports Network. And today we are going to be coming at you with a mock redraft. We were going to do best ball, but shout out to Kathy Hochul and all the suits and ties over there in New York that make it not possible for me to play underdog there. Didn't feel like doing a drafters contest, so we're going to do one. We're going to do a regular mock draft off a sleeper redraft. I will tell you guys, if you say, hey, what about the rookie drafts? We have done a ton of those over the last few days on this wonderful channel. So if you go into the archive, you'll see them there. We did, I think, 2 or 3 on air yesterday. Me, Pete, and Matt. And then we did a couple the day prior. So it's a ton in there. So definitely check all that out. Check this out. We kind of wanted to do a little bit of a draft here to kind of give the lay of the land of now that the draft's over, if you're drafting everybody all at once, what does that look like in terms of cost? So we will do that shortly. If anybody wants to join, I'll put that in the regular chat here in case anybody jumps in and wants to join. Otherwise, we'll just, Anthony, you and I will just ride with the computer. It's always a good time. My name is Michael Hoff. You can follow me on X at the FF Realist. I'm joined by the one, the only, the ever handsome, the occasionally charming Anthony Servino. He can follow the real NFL guru. Anthony, how's about you?
I'm doing good. Getting feel tan, right?
All right.
Tanning, okay. Training, got my hair done. Feel good today. All right. Look good.
Okay. So you're getting ready for what? What are you getting ready for?
Just getting ready for life. This is just my day to day. You know, trying to get back to normal.
Wow. Pardon me, old hell. All right. Well, I don't feel tan.
I tan for free at my gym, right? You have the gym membership, comes with the unlimited tanning.
Sure.
So you fucking use it.
All right. I am just gonna. You keep talking. I'm gonna put this on Twitter in case anybody wants to join. So talk a little bit more about your.
I'm trying to charge my thing.
Oh.
Charge my phone.
Charge your phone.
But I'm excited about the draft. I'm excited that the NFL draft is over, so we can finally get into some meaningful fantasy football drafts. Underdog, which you can't do. They laid out. They have about 6 to 8 contests right now. I made the mistake of joining a slow draft, and when I say I'm literally picking every 3 days, underdog slow drafts have never been this slow or bad. Maybe I just got a bad room, but. Yeah, this might be a one and done. I'm usually I was always a slow drafter, as you know, Mike. But last year, now I'm all about the fast drafts. Let's it's I'm more into them.
Okay, sounds good to me. Yeah, I'm trying to. I've dabbled on fast draft. I just can't handle drafters. It's not legal in New York yet, though, so it kind of limits me a bit. But
yeah,
trying to get somewhere. So all right. So I'll put that there. We'll give it another 2 or 3 minutes, see if anybody else joins. So,
but ATL's here.
Yeah, ATL is here.
Is he in our Mets division?
No, he would never join that. I don't know if he actually got his SFB invite yet. But
he was like the first one to say it in the group. I think he, of course, everybody gets it before me.
There we go with this shit now with the fucking pity party. Jesus. Do we have that crying? See, I should have never got rid of that crying baby sound. You guys made me get rid of that. I should have never got rid of that. That would have been perfect right now. No, I don't believe ATL has gotten invited yet to SFB. So ATL, I will pull up your comments, but you can go ahead and you can respond at some point. So
I'm excited that they changed the venue to Legends.
Yeah, it does look good.
It's also, if you do a little research on it, it's the official bar or restaurant of the New York Football Club, which is a soccer team in the, I believe, the MLS. So I think they have watch parties there and everything. So maybe we'll get lucky and there'll be a soccer game going on during the fucking draft.
That would be so lucky. This one's for you, really, Anthony, because ATL says Tyler Warren got prank called saying he was being drafted by the Jets, but knew it was a prank when person said that they were Joe Douglas.
He hates Joe. I don't even know what this guy Joe Douglas did to him.
I told him he's got to come up with new material. That's about, I don't know, a couple of years old now. I know he just got fired, that being Joe Douglas, but yeah, he's hanging on here. And that's why Tyler Warren is the number one in rookie drafts. So yeah, Actually, really quick before we start, Anthony.
Yeah.
Tight ends. I will say this, though. People look at the Colts quarterback room and they'll be like, oh, my God, this room is terrible. And I'm not saying that this tight end will be the tight end I'm about to compare him to, but the Raiders quarterback room was pretty awful last year. Brock Bowers was still able to be relevant. Now, Tyler Warren's not going to be Brock Bowers in his rookie year. Do not get that twisted. I'm just saying there is a world in which a tight end can succeed without a great quarterback. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
But my but there are better pass catchers around Ty Warren than there were around Brock Bowers.
True.
I mean, obviously they had Devontae there, but I don't know. It's just it might sound crazy. Mason Taylor might be my tight end 1 in rookie drafts.
Okay.
From the Jets.
I mean,
he has the clearest path to a role, to opportunity, and to production. The only thing is his quarterback is Justin Fields, and is that much a better of a situation than Ty Warren. And then obviously Caleb's great for Loveland, but there's about 900 other guys who can catch the football in Chicago. But, like, I don't know. Like, I might just punt both. And I do this every year. This is why I was out on Brock Bowers, because of that situation. I'll fade Loveland. I'll fade Warren. And I'll draft Mason Taylor.
Okay. I mean, I don't hate the call. I'm not calling the men in white coats on you, but I'd rather go another way. I am going to go. Let me get this done. There you go. All right. I did just take Amari and Hampton in my Dynasty League. But all right. So we can get this going. The one thing I wanted to ask you, because Pete and Matt were going back and forth about this yesterday. So I do want to ask you this before we start, because Albert did ask us Hunter or McMillan in rookie drafts. Travis Hunter, Tet McMillan. Pete is on the Tet McMillan side. Matt is on the Travis Hunter side. I started leaning with Travis Hunter. I am leaning more towards Tet McMillan. But Anthony, really quick before we start this draft, what says you?
Man, probably Travis Hunter.
Okay.
It's not like I'm down on Tet McMillan. I like the talent. Is what we saw last year from Bryce Young. Is that going to stick? I also listen, I'm a Liam Cohen guy.
Yep.
I'm a Trevor Lawrence guy. They have Brian Thomas. In Carolina, they might have 9 defenders on Tet McMillan. In Jacksonville, there's probably a really good chance that Brian Thomas Jr. is going to get the top coverage, going to get the double coverage. And if Travis Hunter's a real deal, you're going to have him one up with the B corner.
Yeah. All right.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. I think it would take a few weeks of production from Tet McMillan for it to turn into, hey, let's get our top corner on this guy. But it could venture into that, though.
What do you mean?
I'm saying out of the gates, they might not,
Might not what?
They might not put their best corner, just, hey, focus on Tet McMillan, follow this guy around.
Who else do they have in Carolina?
That's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. You also have defensive schemes. The defense might not say, all right, let's see what Tet does first couple weeks before we just, all right, we're game planning against this. That's what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying. There's more talent in Jacksonville than there is in Carolina. I get it wholeheartedly. I'm not trying to tell you they're going to say we got to put 2 bodies on Adam Thielen. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying week 1 or 2. I'm just saying it might start out not with the best coverage on. That's all I'm saying. That's it. One last thing we got to get. ATL. Normally you have to put this behind a paywall for me to read it, but just to make Anthony laugh out loud, I heard Joy Taylor influenced the Jets taking Mason Taylor. There you go, Anthony. Do your own math. All right. So, ATL. Oh, you did join. I was about to rip you for making so many comments and not joining, but he did join. All right. So we are going to do.
Is Mason Taylor related to Joy?
Yeah.
I like him even more.
Jesus Christ. Here we go with this now.
Joy can do very little wrong in my eyes.
Yeah,
She makes that list.
Probably the same with a lot of execs, too.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we are going to do a Superflex mock draft. We are going to be doing it's Superflex. We're going to have 2 flexes. We're also going to have 2 running backs. We're going to have 3 wide receivers and 5 bench spots. So in total, it's around 15 picks or so. No kicker, no defense. So, Anthony, are you ready to start?
I am.
All right, let's start right meow. Here we go. Anthony, you are picking 3rd here. I am picking 7th. Tried to get a little bit away from you. See how this draft goes.
So Chase, Barkley, chalk. Obviously, I'm probably going to go.
Which is the same in a lot of these best ball drafts, too. If you've been doing best ball drafts, this is usually the way it starts out.
So this might be a little, maybe crazy, maybe not. I'm actually going to go Bijan Robinson here. Jim Coventry put out a tweet about why Darnell Mooney might be a fade. Is the volume going to be there from Penix? And that made me think, are we going to see more volume going into the direction of Bijan Robinson with the switch to Michael Penix at quarterback? So, I mean, with that mindset, and he was electric last season, I think that sheet you put out with all the stats, Bijan Robinson, I think, had the most 20-plus point games of any running back.
Yes, he did. Yeah. And I think he's got he's right now in my rankings, he's my RB1. I have him over Saquon for this upcoming season. Yeah. So yeah. All right. So it starts off with Jamar Chase, Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson. Now I am up with pick 7, and shocking, I hate what I have to work with. So there you go. It is a super flex though, so you know what? I'm going to go against the grain here, and I'm going to take quarterback. And I'm going to take everybody else's elite quarterback, not exactly mine, but Josh Allen.
Wait, this is super flex?
Yes, I said that. I literally announced it.
Yeah,
literally announced it.
But this is.
Can you please mute the audio of the draft?
It's not muted?
It's dinging with every single pick.
Oh, okay.
And taking a little bit off my life with each pick.
Is it muted yet?
I don't know if it's muted yet. Don't know if it's
muted yet.
Don't know if
it's muted
yet. Nope. Let me see. Maybe it's me. Let me see. Let me close that. Maybe that'll be better. That's what she said. Yeah, see, someone just said turn the beefs off with a prayer. So I am on the clock.
I think I did.
Okay. We'll see.
I'm just pissed off. This is the problem I have with these. It's super flex, but like obviously the first 2 picks was not super flex picks, and then I don't pay attention, and I think it's one quarterback, and I go Bijan. So whatever, I'll recover.
I mean, you're not dead in the water there, but you know what? I'm gonna buy in. Again to Derrick Henry having another big year. So, by the way, there are 2 flexes. You can flex tight end if you want. So we did see 2 tight ends go off the board with the 7th and 8th picks in the 2nd round. Anthony, the Beefs are off. So there you go. And James says, I feel like the computer doesn't realize it's super flex. Yeah, well, this is the charm of using Sleeper. So, yeah. Generally, when we do these, James, we're going to be doing best ball drafts. We're just waiting for some of the contests to roll out on some of the best ball sites that allow betting in both New York and New Jersey, which is where Anthony and I are located. We used to have that luxury in terms of Underdog, but they recently just took Underdog away from New York State. So that's it. Write a letter if anybody's in New York. What do we got here? All right. So, Anthony, you're on the clock again. Anthony, I'll wait for you to take your pick and then explain your last 2 picks to the audience.
Okay.
And James does say while you're waiting, he says, and they say AI is going to take our jobs. I hope they let them gamble. Yeah, it's true. By the way, Anthony James has been a frequenter in our shows this week. A lot
Good.
last night,
Nice.
a lot today already. So pleasure to have you, James.
So my obviously I opened up with Bijan Robinson, and if it was a one quarterback, a regular league, that he would be ahead of Justin Jefferson in my rankings, at least until there's always that chance Aaron Rodgers goes to Minnesota. I'm not exactly sold on JJ McCarthy, so that's why I have Bijan as the third overall player on the board. Coming back, since it is Superflex, Joe Burrow at pick 210, and then coming back, Bucky Irving, because I don't want to end up with Joe Burrow and like Jalen Hurts, because this draft is not being drafted as a Superflex draft. So I'm trying to at least keep it realistic.
Yeah. Next one I'm going to take here. I know I feel like we're getting close to the Mike Evans dip here, but I'll buy in for one more year. I'll make him my first wide receiver. I just want to get a wide receiver on the board here. I did debate DJ Moore. I am expecting better things there in Chicago, but ultimately I go with Mike Evans. So my team starts with Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, and Mr. Mike Evans. So trying to just get one spot on each position before I proceed. So right now,
I think moving forward, we only do
Yeah.
Superflex drafts when we have like 75% human filled in, and then if we have to do this AI stuff, then we just do one quarterback, because it's never going to get it. This is how many years we're dealing with this.
You would think Sleeper would get ahead of the curve one of these days, but alas, here we are. Good times. All right. We will keep you, our resident Troy TL. We'll keep you updated on his team as we go too. He started out with Jahmyr Gibbs, Lamar Jackson, Terry McLaurin. Not a bad start there from our resident troll, right? Who's, by the way, is picking right behind you, so he could snipe you all he wants. He won't. He doesn't know any better.
No, I actually like his build.
I know. I do too. Let me see here.
I love how all these computer teams at the end of the draft completely fading quarterback. That's a great strategy.
Yes. I understand. Let me see here. Where am I going? Wide receiver.
No, zero quarterback in the Superflex league. That's innovative.
Just drowned our show a little more if you could. Just fucking
I'm drowning Sleeper. Not the show.
Put the head in the tub and just smother it down there.
I'm drowning Sleeper.
Wait till the body's lifeless. Very good of you.
Sleeper Twitter has had me unblocked for over a year, so I'm due. I'm due for that block again.
They had you blocked at one point?
Yeah. Don't you remember? I wasn't very nice to them for a while.
Well, I remember we were ripping them apart. I didn't know they blocked.
I was blocked for a little bit.
Good for you. All right, so we did see two tight ends go off the board. Should be noted, there's two flex positions along with a tight end. You can flex a tight end. So if you're into that sort of thing, I did take George Kittle, going with my taking one from each position, trying to get a pillar. The weakest of my pillars, in my opinion, being Mike Evans at wide receiver. But Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Mike Evans, George Kittle, I'll take those pillars. So I just think, I know Emeka Ibuka is over there. I don't really, I think that's more of a McMillan problem than it's going to be a Mike Evans problem.
Right.
At least in 2025 here. But, I mean, there will be an impact for sure. And I do think we're starting to get to the point where Mike Evans might start to just taper off a bit. Not like he's going to lose it and all of a sudden he's going to suck. But just, he barely got the 1,000 yards last year. I know he had a big hamstring injury right around week 7, same week Godwin went out. But I don't know. I just feel like we're almost there. Anthony, you are on the clock with 40 seconds left. And
yeah, I'm just looking at we are in the wide receiver dead zone.
So We are in the wide receiver dead zone. Yeah, which is why I took Mike Evans before I got any further into a dead zone. I don't know why I'm putting this up here because he really doesn't want to go. He balked at getting tickets this week, but he wants me to tell you, Anthony, I'm going to SummerSlam. Is there anything to do in the New Jersey area? The funny thing about this from our resident troll ATL is that he's got Anthony's number. He could just text him this. Not like we didn't have this fucking discussion as well. But there you go, Anthony.
I mean, is there anything to do?
Yeah.
You come stay at my house. We go to Atlantic City.
Yeah. Watch Anthony get ripped off of Fireball within about 15 minutes. Like a goddamn relay race. So that's a good time. So, Anthony, you're back on the clock here. We are now at the third pick of the fifth round. Anthony, so far you've taken Bijan Robinson, Joe Burrow, Bucky Irving, Chris Olave, and you just took another running back, and it is a rookie. Who'd you take, Anthony?
Yeah, Marion Hampton, third pick, fifth round. I was in on Najee Harris, and Najee's going to still have a role, I think, right? Like he's on a 1-year deal. I think he's going to still have a role. Next year, I think the wheels come off for Marion Hampton, but I think Marion Hampton is going to see enough volume to warrant a fifth-round pick in fantasy football. We know the Greg Roman system. We know. I mean, look at J.K. Dobbins last year. J.K. Dobbins was still conceding touches. Got to remember, Gus Edwards, especially early, was still getting double-digit touches a game. And we saw Dobbins all coming off the injuries finish, I believe, as the RB17 in points per game. Now you're bringing a Marion Hampton. This guy can do a lot of damage on this Chargers team.
No, I agree. It's why I just took him now in the rookie draft that I'm in. Well, I should say the Dynasty League I'm in. We're doing a rookie draft now. I'm going to get another receiver here. I'm going to go Cortland Sutton. I'm buying into Bo Nix. I'll buy into Cortland Sutton being on the receiving end. So I'll make him my second wide receiver. Not in love with my wide receiver so far. I'm in love with everything else I'm doing. And again, yeah, Sleeper really needs to get their shit together. We make it a Superflex draft, and we have gotten barely any quarterbacks taken so far. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now just 7 quarterbacks have gone off the board. Make it 8 in the first 6 rounds. Maybe Sleeper hears me. So there you go. But now it's up to me. And now that we're getting more quarterbacks coming off the board, you know what? I'm going to wait a little more because fuck it. That's why. So let's jump in. Let's get myself a... How are you approaching? Because, excuse me, I'm looking at taking potentially... I could take Tyrone Tracy right now. How are you viewing that with Cam Scatterboo there?
Dead man walking. I think, Tracy, they gave him the backfield, and he literally fumbled it away. The ball control security became an issue towards the end of the season, and now we bring in Scatterboo. I think we're going to be looking at a split at worst. If not, we see Cam take over by midseason. So I'm just doing, Tracy not in the 6th round. I'm not completely out, but out this early.
All right, that's fair. Let me see if I'm looking here a little bit further. You know what? I'm going to go wide receiver. I'm going to get another wide receiver, then I'll kind of hang back in terms of wide receivers. I'm going to go Deebo Samuel. Something to prove now in Washington. Something to prove in terms of everybody said last year he was washed, which deservedly so. He had an awful year. But he is in Washington now. I'm going to buy into that whole revival, at least for a year, especially when he's my 3rd wide receiver. I think it's a lot easier to do. So we got mediators in here saying, let's get the fellas some likes. That would be nice. Likes are always appreciated. So
have you noticed, by the way, anybody notice my cam freezing or lagging today?
Yeah, all the time.
Oh.
I told you that. We've had this discussion.
But it's still happening today because I can't see it on my end.
Yes. But then why'd you go, oh, when they said yes all the time?
I was hoping that it wasn't that maybe it fixed itself. That's great.
Well, like I Dream of Genius style? Like just
No, for whatever reason, StreamYard is having I replaced my modem. It's just not working. It's something with StreamYard interacting with my computer.
All right. Well, here's an update on our Resident Troll ATL's draft as Anthony gets ready to pick, and then he's going to pick 2, and then we'll have him tell us about his next 2 picks. But our Resident Troll ATL, speaking 4th overall, he goes with Jahmyr Gibbs, Lamar Jackson, Terry McLaurin, Sam Laporta, Chuba Hubbard, and then Khalil Shakir. Shakira. Second receiver's a little rough for me, but I get it. We talked about like a wide receiver dead zone, so I'm not killing your pick. I'm just saying that's a product of wide receiver falling off at a certain point, which and I feel like you and I discussed this when we did some best ball drafts early on. It's kind of new and different. I feel like that drop off. I feel like we're more accustomed to that in running backs as opposed to wide receivers.
Yeah, I'm not in love with how early wide receivers are going this year. And I think it's a product of, because this happens every year with these early drafts we're doing. There's all these runs on wide receivers early. And then as we get closer to the money season, July, August, the board starts balancing out and we see running backs go a little bit earlier. And so I think it's just time of season.
Yeah, and James is saying it's making him want to go wide receiver in his normal redraft. A lot of good RBs will emerge this year. I tend to agree. And, that's why we do drafts like this now, too. So you kind of get a lay of the land of how things are looking right now. And then, continue to obviously tune in all summer long and see how much this changes or if it doesn't change at all. So all things to look at. But Anthony, you do have 30 seconds or so to make your pick.
I thought I picked. Okay, I picked Judy, and it came back to me. Judy, I'm really high on.
Yeah.
And it's 2 flexes.
It is 2 flexes.
And I'm going to grab another running back and one of my bigger sleepers. And he's not really a sleeper because we know who he is. That's really Swift. I picked already. Why do you keep playing that?
Because it's on loop, because that's how it starts off whenever you open up a studio. So there you go. Don't get upset. So Anthony does take DeAndre Swift, who was one of the winners of the NFL draft, I suppose.
And the offseason.
At the offseason, sure. All right. So I am now on the clock. All right. I will take a second quarterback. And I'm going my guy, but I'm not just going my guy for no reason. We got Kyler Murray. Justin Herbert is the one guy here that I would say maybe I would take above Brock Purdy, or it's right there in terms of fantasy. But yeah, I'm looking at Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy. I'm going to go Brock Purdy here. Get my second quarterback. Get that done. I do have the stack with George Kittle there at tight end. You got that? I mean, I'm not always married to stacks, but I will take one if I stumble into it. So there's my second quarterback. So Anthony, you'll probably have to get a second quarterback soon. Team 9 says fuck quarterback, apparently. So he hasn't taken one yet.
Yeah, I'll probably target quarterback next.
Team 9.
What?
No, I was going to read off Team 9's roster, but go ahead.
No, my wide receivers are terrible, but I went heavy on running back early, and then I'll hammer wide receiver the way it is. I went with Olave, Judy. Bad football teams are going to throw a lot. Obviously, if Olave can stay healthy, I'm really into Kellen Moore and what he can potentially bring to this team. It's just, can Tyler Shuck now figure it out?
True. More than fair. I think it's another thing that's more than fair is it's about time I got to get some second running back in here. Holy shit. Oof. All right. For now, I'm going to go Ramondre Stevenson as my second running back, but there will be more reinforcements on the way, the running back position. That makes my running back so far Derrick Henry and Ramondre. My wide receivers are Mike Evans, Cortland Sutton, Deebo Samuel. I do have George Kittle at tight end, and as previously discussed, Josh Allen and Brock Purdy as my quarterbacks. It is now up to you, Anthony. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 teams with multiple quarterbacks. One of those has 3 quarterbacks. You are now on the clock. Do you take a quarterback here, or do you wait a little bit?
I'm gonna go. I think you'll know what I'm doing. You're not picking anyway, but I'm gonna go Diggs, and you know what I'm gonna come back to is Drake May.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't hate that. Before you get ready to pick, I will answer this because this isn't. He's trying to not troll by asking this because this is a legitimate question because I asked this myself. Any concerns with the 49ers offensive line since defense was mostly addressed in the draft? This is clearly in regards to me taking Brock Purdy earlier. Yeah, there's some concerns. Yeah, but I'm gonna trust what the Niners are doing. But yeah, if anything turns out to be an issue right out of the gate for the 49ers, it's going to be their offensive line. They better hope Trent Williams stays upright.
I think that, you're obviously the 49er fan, but yeah. I think the defense is a bigger key than the offense.
I do too. I do too, but I still think that the offensive line is still going to be
because even if the line is bad and the offense isn't clicking on all cylinders, if that defense, a solid defense, plays up to the way it did a couple years ago, and obviously different talent pool, then like that'll at least keep you in games. And then all Shanahan has to do is scheme a few plays up. If that offense isn't clicking, you need to score 30 points a game. That's not good. So you need this defense good enough to keep you guys in games if this offense isn't up to par.
No, I agree wholeheartedly with that. I do think the defense will kind of help where the offensive line is lacking a bit, kind of what point you're illustrating a bit there. I agree. I just it's good to read. I'll take another Niner. I'll take Ricky Pearsall. It is good to hear though that for those interested in the Niners offensive line, that Trent Williams was there right away at camp. Usually he's not. Last year he was a holdout. But even if he's still working out in Texas and then he shows up when he shows up, but he was there right away. So, hopefully that's something. We'll see. So, but there you go. It is my turn to pick. After I make this pick, I will read off my roster, and then Anthony, after you make your next 2 picks. By the way, we're in the 10th round. We can read off your roster. We got only 5 more rounds to go. Let's see where I go here. Oof, man alive, it gets gross out in these streets. Anthony, say something. So
I'm just saying. I guess Ted McMillan was drafted at some point. Okay. Right? Yeah.
Probably was.
Yeah, he literally just went to James, I guess, from the chat. So that was a good pick. I'm gonna go Travis Hunter. I guess I can't. Oh, I'm not on the clock yet. You're on the clock. So
I'm on the clock. I'm telling you to just talk.
Oh, all right. So I'm gonna go Travis Hunter if he's there, but I can see ATL Mikey taking him. I can even see possibly Hoff taking him here, but Hoff doesn't really need a wide receiver. You kind of need running backs. And you want Hunter just to bust my balls. Thank you. All right. Thank you.
So James says Team 10 is crushing it. I assume that must be James. So let's read off his roster for fun here. We got Malik Neighbors, Jaden Daniels, Ashton Genty, James Cook, Xavier Worthy, Bo Nix, Evan Ingram. The only team that swoops in there for a third quarterback, he goes with Caleb Williams, Trevion Henderson, and then Tet McMillan, which you just said he did go there. So, yeah, probably the best draft or definitely one of the best drafts so far. We'll compare you, James, to our resident troll ATL. We'll see how that's shaking out. But Anthony, well, once ATL picks, well, what is he doing? Oh, he finally picked. Okay. I'm kidding. He finally picked. It was only like 30 seconds, if that.
Keenan
All right.
Allen.
Yeah, it is interesting.
So within this, again, we don't know how these drafts are going to play out, and you know, and maybe a draft like this could be useful to people as much as I like to bust balls. This
It's
this
useful
is like a
in terms of
this is a home
it's
league
giving
draft.
you the first lay of the land post NFL draft.
No, but this is also somebody's home league draft. Like you know, if people are in home league, I've been in home league drafts recently, a couple years ago, where like quarterbacks were going in the first round. And it was one quarterback league. You know, Gronk's last year, he was a 3rd round pick. So like you never know, like, you know, I guess we're so accustomed to drafting with other quote unquote experts or other people like who are doing high stakes leagues, and we kind of know how the board's going to fall out. This is a board of a normal draft at home.
Probably, yeah.
So I'm going to go Trey Harris, who wide receiver 2 on Chargers, Justin quarterback, locked and loaded. I think he's an under the like. If you look at the other landing spots to these rookie receivers outside of Hunter and Tet, they're not great. Trey Harris is outstanding landing spot. I have him ranked over Burden in terms of rookies, over Burden and Golden because of landing spot.
I dig it. I like it. I like it a lot. You're on the clock for one more pick, then our resident troll picks, and then it'll come to me. After I pick, we'll read off resident troll ATL's team to kind of give a who's better, James or ATL, which I think it's probably going to be James, but we'll see. James Russell was pretty good. James does say, I do think there's rookie fever going on right now, but maybe that just speaks to how deep this class is. No, that's not. I mean, James, you're right that there is rookie fever, but it doesn't speak to how good this class is. That's just kind of always the way of the world. Once the draft is over, people get it's like Christmas. You get the shiny new toy and you go, oh my God, this thing's the greatest. It's amazing. It's that kind of thing.
Listen,
rubber meets the road when the season starts, and then we find out.
I'm not normally a rookie guy, and Hoff, you know, that's not me. Yep. In this particular draft, because of how the board has fallen out, I'm drafting a lot of rookies. I don't particularly think this is a deep rookie class. I'm not in love with the rookie class, but
I do like this rookie class, I will say.
See, I don't.
I do.
But the ones that I like, I'm drafting, and that because I can here. The only Hunter, RJ Harvey, Mason Taylor, Hampton. I like both Ohio State running backs. Like, there's a good 12 players I like. And normally rookie drafts, there's at least 2 rounds worth of players. I only like about 1 round worth of players this year.
All right. Fair enough. Our resident troll ATL's team, Anthony, if you want to put him up against James's team, they're 10. Resident troll ATL so far has gone Jahmyr Gibbs, Lamar Jackson, Terry McLaurin, Sam Laporta, Chuba Hubbard, Khalil Shakir, Jonnu Smith, so he's got 2 tight ends, Jordan Love, Josh Downs, Keenan Allen, who we all scoffed at, and then Justin Fields, Anthony, which is your guy.
Who took Fields? When I took Drake May, again, I didn't realize Fields was still there. I in a normal basis, I would have won Fields. Again, this is another year like Burrow, like he's my hot spot at quarterback, right? Like if I'm not getting like the Burrow, and this is outside of Superflex, or like a Jaden, if I don't want to pay up for them, I love quite a few quarterbacks this year. Especially in best ball where you could just take it 3 of them, Drake May, Fields, Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, Dak could have a bounce back year. I don't think, I think there's a big chance they bring Amari Cooper back for what that's worth, add some depth in that wide receiver room, but like Dak's practically free in most drafts, and they're going to have to throw the football. So quite a few late round steals at the quarterback position if you don't want to pay up.
This is true. I'm looking at Anthony Richardson.
And we have a 1-0 score in Ecuador, which I needed a
first
half goal, and I got it.
Thank God for that update.
It's
I really need that.
Deportivo Cuenca against Manta Football Club.
Bless you. All right, let me see here. What am I doing? I got 30 seconds to make a pick here. I'm going to go ahead and not know what the fuck I'm doing in terms of who I want. Yeah, this is all. You know what? I'll take. I looked at him earlier. I'll take Wandell. Take some target action there with the Giants as a bench wide receiver for me.
I like Wandell. The Giants' offense could be a thing this year.
It could be. I'll say this, for as much as people crush the Giants, this is now, and we'll see what the fate of Joe Shane and Brian Dable are, but this is now back-to-back years in which the Giants have put together impressive drafts. I mean, we'll see how this one plays out. I get it. We got to wait and see. Last year's was good, in my opinion. And then now we're seeing it, play out here. We'll see what happens. So, yeah, and now I'm kicking myself because you just took R.J. Harvey.
I absolutely love R.J. Harvey this year.
You, me, and a lot of other people. And I feel like he's going to start creeping up rookie drafts more and more.
He's a first round pick in rookie drafts for me.
Okay,
has to be with that landing spot.
Well, yeah, that's why. Like when free agency started, that's why when it was Najee Harris, I wanted him to go to Denver.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Jaden Blue, Dallas Cowboys 5th round pick running back out of Texas?
I don't hate it. It's not obviously it's not an impossible backfield to break open there. So yeah, I don't hate it, and you're not spending a lot on him draft wise. So yeah, I would give it a go.
Past couple years, Dallas, they brought in like Ronald Jones, doesn't make the roster, or was like a practice squad guy. Last year was Dalvin Cook and Royce Freeman. They brought in Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams. One of those two players are not making the roster. And I think there's a realistic chance Jaden Blue could take over this backfield. I also think there's a chance they bring in a guy like Nick Chubb or J.K. Dobbins. But if that doesn't happen, and if Dallas stays put, I might roll the dice on Jaden Blue as the RB1 in Dallas. On a hunch.
Sure.
Just on because it's not like this is a new thing. Like where it's not like Dallas never brings in veterans. No, they brought in Ronald Jones, a familiar name. Dalvin Cook, familiar name. Royce Freeman, familiar name. And these guys don't even play. Maybe they're just bodies right now because they need to figure it out.
I am going to take my second tight end here, and I'm going to go with Loveland. I prefer Tyler Warren, who you selected, Anthony. But I'll go Loveland as a second tight end here behind George Kittle. So, I mean, if Loveland happens to catch fire, then I'm in a position where I could flex Loveland and I could still start Kittle at tight end. That's how this league was formatted, this mock, I should say.
And there's a world where, Loveland in that offense with the way Ben Johnson heavily favors 12 personnel, getting 2 tight ends on the field. Komet's probably going to be more of the blocker, more of the inline, even though he can do things down the field. But sure. Loveland's that mismatched nightmare, and they could do a lot of different things with him. So he's a good pick.
I will just say, if Cole Komet's ADP, which, I mean, I'm sure, well, I haven't looked at any physical numbers here, but if Komet's draft stock dips in best ball drafts, then I would be a big fan of going ahead and still taking Komet in some best ball drafts.
I don't hate it in best ball, absolutely not, because he's good for a few spike weeks, and he already has a rapport with Caleb.
Right, exactly. So take that. All right, I am now on the clock here. Let me take a look at what we have here. Currently, I'm sitting with only 3 running backs. I've got 5 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, 2 quarterbacks. So let's take a look at this running back position here. Oof. This gets ugly fast. Holy shit. Man. This is the problem, is I feel like I can keep waiting. I'm going to wait a little bit longer.
For what?
Running back. I'm going to wait a little bit longer. Let me see what I'm going with here. Give me a second. Oh, yeah. Could go with my guy, of course. Yeah, let's go with my guy. Screw it. My guy this year, Anthony. No, I shouldn't say my guy, but whatever. Josh Palmer. I like Josh Palmer this year. Think he'll be sneaky. It's not going to be great, but he's going to be sneaky.
You know what? I don't hate that.
And by the way, James brought up, wait a little longer. You mean the last round, next round? That is true. Touche, sir. Yeah, it is the last round. Yeah. I
don't hate that on Bryce. And I probably needed a quarterback 3 as well. And it dried up quick.
Let me see what quarterbacks are left there. What do we got there? Yeah, no, not the bad. You could go Cam Ward.
I'm debating Ward.
Because if you're looking for guys, because again, this is just a regular redraft that we're doing. This isn't like this isn't some kind of dynasty or what have you.
You know what? I'm gonna go. I'll go Ward. Part of me wants to go Tyler Shuck just because I have Olave, and again, I'm very much in on Kellen Moore. Everybody knows me. I'm a big Kellen Moore fan, and Shuck is an older rookie. Most of the time, that doesn't work out, but he's seen a lot more than a lot of other quarterbacks. Like how, you kind of devalue the quarterbacks who don't get a lot of time, like Anthony Richardson or Trey Lance.
Yes.
Well, Shuck's seen it all. He's played a lot of football, so he should be able to pick up the system rather quickly. And the weapons are decent, so I don't mind Shuck as a QB3 or 4 in Superflex.
All right. Well, you are on the clock for your last pick, the 15th round. Let me know what you're doing here, what you're thinking, your very last pick. And then once you're done with your pick, you can feel free to read off your roster to the beautiful people.
So I do feel like I need wide receiver help more than anything. Obviously, normally we'll go a little bit deeper with these drafts, but this is a situation we're in. So I will add, instead of a tight end 2, I'm going to go Rashad Bateman, get a little bit of ceiling here. There's a nugget, by the way, I want to talk about.
Sure.
Elick.
Yeah.
I'm going to... I'm going to butcher last name. Elick Imanor, the rookie wide receiver that went to the Tennessee Titans. The report, and we talked about this. I do the early show, the morning show on RotoWire with Jim Coventry. And the report is he's going to be a starting wide receiver in 3 wide sets, more than likely in Tennessee. Obviously, Ridley's still there. Westbrook-Ikhine is now in Miami. They brought in Lockett, but what's really Tyler Lockett at this point? So this rookie, I believe, was the 3rd round pick in the real NFL draft. He has a shot to be a thing. And I think what we need to realize, there's a lot of rookie talk today, a lot of rookie talk in general. It's the time of year. With somebody like Imanor and Cam Ward, right? Obviously, Calvin Ridley and Lockett are going to be there. These rookies, they're going to work out together. They're going to be together more than, a few days extra, a month extra than Cam Ward will have with Calvin Ridley. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these rookie quarterback and rookie wide receiver or tight end pairings. In these situations, they're going to be working out together ahead of time. So I do think that adds a little bit of value.
So our draft is now complete. Read off your team. I'll read off mine. Then we'll mention James and ATL, who have been in the show quite a bit.
Bijan Robinson, Joe Burrow, Bucky Irving, a lot of B's. Chris
Killer bees.
Olave, Omarion Hampton, Jerry Jeudy, DeAndre Swift, Stephon Diggs, Drake May stack, Trey Harris, Ty Warren, RJ Harvey, Marvin Mims, Cam Ward, Rashad Bateman. I dig it.
Don't hate it. I think I like my team a little bit better. We'll see. Let me see. But let me read it off. I mean, my running backs are, Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Mike Evans, George Kittle, Cortland Sutton, Debo Samuel, Brock Purdy, Ramondre Stevenson, Ricky Pearsall, Travis Hunter, who, let's be honest, Travis Hunter would be going ahead of Ricky Pearsall. Quinton
need him.
Judkins.
You took him to bust my balls.
That, and also I wasn't in love with the running backs out there. It was both. It was definitely to bust your balls, but there was both there. I did take Judkins, then I went Wan'Dale Robinson, Colson Loveland, Joshua Palmer, and then my last pick at running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers was Caleb Johnson. So I will roll with that pick. I like my team. My running backs are the weakest link. We're all well aware of that. No one's idiots here. But I like my team. Anthony, why don't you read off, unless you have a comment about my team.
I like your running backs are weak, but at the same time, with Judkins and Johnson, more so Judkins, I think Judkins could be a thing in Cleveland. I think he's the perfect fit in that vacated Nick Chubb role. And yes, they brought in Dylan Sampson, but this should be Judkins' backfield.
Yeah. I can definitely see that being a thing.
I think a pick like that, and even Caleb Johnson to a lesser extent, salvages your team, your running back room.
Yeah, that pick. I mean, Caleb Johnson's, obviously was, impressive in college, but to me, it's just it's Arthur Smith there. I mean, he uses multiple running backs. I know we do all the jokes all the time, but not even trying to be funny, making jokes. He does use multiple running backs, so I don't think this is like Jalen Warren all of a sudden is going to get 60% of more or 60% or more of the Steelers' rush attempts this year. So that's why I'm more than comfortable taking Caleb there. But did you want to read off ATL's team?
Yes. So he went Gibbs, Lamar Jackson, that is. Terry McLaurin, Sam Laporta, Chuba Hubbard, Khalil Shakir. That's the one pick I don't like that early. Jonnu Smith, Jordan Love, Downs, Keenan Allen.
That's a Dolphins pick right there.
What, Shakir? Or John?
No, I'm saying Jonnu. Yeah.
I mean, Jonnu's going early, and we'll talk about Jalen Wright, Golden, Restrepo, David Martinez. But I mean, Jonnu Smith this year. I like ATL's team. I think it falls off towards the end. But that early part of this draft was stacked outside of Khalil Shakir. Jonnu Smith is going to make or break fantasy teams. He went ballistic last year. Was that a fluke? Is it going to be a real thing? If it's the real thing, I still think he can be had a little bit of a discount. But it's not enough of a discount to where if you do pick Jonnu Smith and he busts, it could potentially cripple your team. That's why, this is that one of those years at the tight end position. I'm probably just going to full fade and pick him out late.
Getting a third quarterback too is not too bad. So he's got Lamar Jackson, Jordan Love, Justin Fields. Yeah, not bad. I mean, Justin Fields, your third quarterback. If he happens to be nothing, it's a moot point. But all right, so let's read off James' team here. He picked 10. He was been very active. There we go with this now. All right, we'll see. I don't know about a league winner, but it could be good. Okay. Anyway, James' team, he goes across from there in New York or New Jersey, where they play football for the Jets. For the Giants, the first pick for James was Malik Neighbors. After that, it goes Jaden Daniels, Ashton Genty, James Cook, Xavier Worthy, Bo Nix, Evan Ingram. Much like ATL, he did take three quarterbacks. He took Caleb Williams, Trevion Henderson, Tet McMillan, Cam Scattaboo, Jalen Coker, and Mika Ekbuka. Sorry, I'm going to keep butchering that. And just weird to say fast. Luther Burden, and then Baishal Tootin. Rootin' Tootin', fresh and fruitin'. I like this team. I like it quite a bit, actually. I think it's actually one of the better drafts here.
I 100% agree.
I like getting Tet McMillan in that spot. I wonder if he goes, because, like, all right, and this is not to disparage James. I mean, James making the picks are in front of him. God bless him. But, like, the round before that, what the hell was it? Oh, Jalen McMillan went before Tet McMillan. I don't know if that happens.
No, I
Even
don't know
me
if that
taking
happens.
Pearsall. All right, let's do this for the hell of it. But we both like James's team. I'm going to read you names of wide receivers that went before Tet McMillan was taken. He took him with the 3rd pick in the 10th round. We'll close out the show with this, and you'll say when in terms of when you would take one wide receiver before Tet. Okay, you ready?
I'll say when.
You say you're going to tell me once you'll take the wide receiver's name I mentioned over
Okay.
Tet.
Okay.
Okay, so Jalen McMillan.
No.
Ricky Pearsall.
No.
Josh Downs.
No.
Jaden Reed.
No.
Jacoby Myers.
Push.
Okay. So Michael Pittman.
No.
Okay. So right there. All right. So basically the end of the 8th round, James ended up getting him with the 3rd pick in the 10th, which again, we're not, I mean, James can only do what the hell is in front of him on the draft board. He's making the picks, yeah. But I'm just trying to illustrate the point for those watching and listening is that if you're watching right now, there is a very strong likelihood that is not where Tet McMillan is going to go in redrafts.
Yeah.
It's probably going to go higher, even when it's Superflex, like it is here. So that's something to keep in mind. But Anthony, before we ride off into the sunset, did you have anything else to say to the fine folks watching?
No, just happy to be drafting meaningful drafts. Rookie landing spots are here. And if we're going to be coming back with best ball drafts, maybe some high stakes drafts, we have a lot cooking this offseason. But I think right now, Pete, Mike, and the mediators especially are going to be pumping out a lot of rookie drafts, a lot of rookie content. That's more of their thing than mine. But I'm hoping to come back and doing some more meaningful drafts like this. Or not so much like this, but underdog drafters. I know Mike can't do underdog in New York, but we've done quite a few drafters drafts on here, and I like that ADP quite a bit.
Yeah, shout out to Kathy Hochul, and shout out to New York State for letting me participate in underdog. Appreciate that, guys. I'm being sarcastic. I don't appreciate it. I'm pissed off at you guys again. But yeah, I think that'll do it for our show. But yes, we will be coming out with a ton of content. Much like this, much like the rookie drafts that we've been doing and everything else, we're going to start doing some ADP risers and fallers, movers and shakers, all that fun stuff. Who's going up, who's going down. We're going to have you covered. James says, good show, guys. Thanks. So, James, thank you to you, man. You've been in our chat pretty much the whole goddamn entire week, so we appreciate you. But until next time, stay thirsty, be kind to one another. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Cheers.